I was looking at a lot of Hopper, which I thought was really beautiful, and I'm looking. LA Times Magazine always has a lot of articles about buildings in Los Angeles by famous architects. Like I guess Frank Lloyd Wright recently had a birthday, and you know, I think I couldn't really pin it down to one artist. I think there are a lot of people who kind of offer beauty to the world.
What is it you like about Edward Hopper?
I really like about Edward Hopper just the very cleanness of it, and it feels very LA to me too, which just it's just amazing that he could take something from our own society and make it so beautiful. Just something from modern times that doesn't have anything to do with, traditional beautiful things like flowers or like, saints or anything traditional like that. But and his work always has a lot of feelings in it. There's a lot of loneliness, I think, in his paintings, which, I tend to like books about with authors who tend to feel a lot of loneliness because I think I felt that a lot when I was younger.
You still feel that way?
Um, I was always kind of a loner. I think I like having people around me, like in small doses. I don't like having like a ton of people around me all the time. And I really value my alone time, but I think I did feel very lonely when I was little, even though I grew up in a big family. um, so, and a lot of loneliness is about not even about being around a lot of people, it's about whether you fit in or not. And I never really felt like I fit in that well. So I think when I read stories like that, like by certain authors, I feel like it's not just me, it's them too. And, you know, I think that's why I like books like that because they're just very honest and it kind of touches something that I feel too.
Do you feel like you fit in now?
I guess I do. I mean, there are a lot of people who just don't fit in anywhere, and I guess I do. I mean, I think to a certain extent, a lot of people feel like they don't belong in certain places, you know? But, I try hard to fit in, and I think on the surface I succeed, but I think inside I still feel like I'm very different from a lot of people.
Different in what way?
Um, I don't know. Like, I'll have conversations with people and I'll know what the right thing to say is, but I just won't want to say it. And sometimes I'll say it just to fit in and make it, like, not to anger somebody else. And, I have a difference of opinion about, like, a lot of things with people. Like, about movies or about religion or about politics. But, you know, like as a lawyer, or working in a big law firm, you just don't feel like you don't want to be too different from everybody.
But how about outside of work? You feel pretty comfortable voicing your opinions?
Um, well, it's funny because sometimes it's awful, but I'll think of some of my friends as not being up to my intellectual caliber. So, like, I'll listen to what they say and I always think that they're not very right or they don't have a very informed opinion. But of course, I don't want to say that to them. Like, I don't want to say, like, um, something that would be, like, hurtful to them. So, and I know I shouldn't feel that way, but sometimes I do.
So who's your favorite author? And why?
My favorite author is probably David Sedaris, just because he writes a lot about loneliness and he's very funny about it. So I really like humorous books.
What's your favorite book?
Well, actually, I have a lot of favorite books and a lot of favorite authors, but probably my favorite books to read are my Agatha Christie books. Because I like reading mysteries, and her characters are always very light.
Okay. What do you think about this documentary? Just wrapping up here.
Well, it wasn't as painful as I thought it was going to be. I think it's very good, actually. I mean, I just I was recently reading an Amy Tan novel where she does the same thing. She's interviewing her mother, and she finds out all these things that she never knew, like all these crazy things that happened in China. And her mom saying, well, she was saying to her mom, how come you never told me any of these things? And her mom said, you never asked. And like, Norn was telling me that my dad said the same thing. She said the same thing to him, and he said the same thing to her, which is just tells you a lot about our, the dynamics in our family. But I think it's really good because, especially now that my parents are getting older, and we were always afraid to ask questions like that. I think we were always afraid to ask them anything, and I'm glad that Norn's kind of taking the initiative and doing it.
Is there anything you'd want to find out?
To tell you the truth, I don't even know if I want to watch the documentary when it's done. Because I don't know if it would be painful to watch. Like maybe, because sometimes the truth is painful. But I don't know. I guess I would be curious to know why Sue has blocked herself off from me. That's probably the number one curiosity.
You thought this interview was going to be painful, and it wasn't.
It's true.
And how would you like to be remembered to future generations of our family?
Well, it's funny because I didn't learn until recently that one of my mom's grandparents was a judge, which I didn't know. And for all I know, she could be making it up. I just hope that future generations, especially of my family, because we're going to have the Caucasian mixed in, that that I was the full-blooded Asian person, and that they'll remember their backgrounds and their culture, and that me who came here not knowing how to speak English, that I became a lawyer, and that they could do whatever they want with their lives.
Okay, that's it. Thank you.
I'm hungry.